Okay, so today we are going to replace the alternator. So this here is the new alternator. It's a remanufactured alternator brand. You can see there. So there's the pulley side of it, and we have some plug-ins here. So the first step is to take off this plastic guard. So the alternator is on the passenger side. We're going to be using a 10mm socket to take out the, I believe there's 7 bolts, 2 on this side, and then 3 up front. Should be 2 on the other side here on the driver's side, except our car happens to be missing a few. So I just undid 5 of the 7 bolts. We only had 5 of them. And then I'm just going to pop this guy off there. Just pop out like so. And there he is. So we'll put that to the side. And under here, that's the oil filter, we have our alternator. So I'm going to start first by disconnecting the battery. I'm not sure if that is absolutely required. However, it's just to, prevent any shorts potentially. And I'm just going to unplug one terminal of the battery, and it's a 10mm. And just make sure it doesn't touch the positive connection at all. Okay, so we're going to take a 14mm. I'm just going to use it on the end of my breaker bar here. And we're going to slip it onto the tensioner pulley and then bend it back to create some slack. So you just bring it back like so. And then you can loop the belt off. So now you have a slack belt here. We're going to go underneath and take it off the alternator. So as you see down here, now the belt is off the alternator there. Next we're going to take off the plugs. So there's little tiny clips there. 12mm socket to take off this bolt here. Should just come off, and there she be. Now she's off. And there she goes. So the next step now is to take a 12mm socket and start undoing these bolts. Undo the top ones first, and then I'm going to do the bottom ones. That way I can support it as I take it off so it doesn't just drop. I'm going to use one of the longer ones here with an extension just to get around some of the hoses. And there's the bolt. Oh, there we go. And then slowly drop her out. There she is. Right out of her spot. So what you want to do now is put your alternator side by side and just confirm that all the mounting points are in the same position. And now we do everything in reverse. Okay, so one thing to note, not all the bolts are the same length. This one is longer, and that goes in this guy right here. And then I'll cinch them all down. Now I'm going to check just the tightness of all 4 bolts again. I've read around 40 to 45 foot-pounds of torque. The unfortunate thing is I don't have a torque wrench that can fit in there, so I'm just going to try and do it by feel best I can. So right up here, there's the 2 plugs for this plug. Just line it up, and there should be a click inside of this guy. This looks like a, you know, what you'd see on a battery terminal. So we just slide that on like so. I'm now gonna rub some dielectric grease on there just to protect it. And that bolt is a 12mm. And now the next will be to put the belt back on. This belt goes around this pulley. Like so. Runs to the back pulley there. And then up top, you can see, runs up there, and brings it there. So you want to come underneath the belt, onto the tensioner pulley, and that was a 14mm. Tensioner back. Make sure everything is in line. It's on the alternator pulley, and we'll just inspect it down there. She's on the pulley down there. Good. I'm now just going to look over everything and recheck that I've completed all the steps. A bolt up top. Belt is back on in the correct orientation, and it's all aligned and ready to go. The 3 bolts are now back on, and they've been tightened. The main outlet here, that's been greased and tightened. We've got the top plug that is secure, so we should be good to go. Let's connect the battery. So make sure your leads are clean. And that's a 10mm bolt to tighten it. I'm now just going to check the voltage on the battery. So you're going to want your battery or your voltmeter onto the 20 setting. And I had just had this battery on the charger earlier. So you want to go positive to negative. 12.5 should be enough for cranking. Yay, the Mazda runs. So I'll just show you the voltage here. That sort of confirms that it was the alternator. So now, positive and negative. Now we're really charging the battery. We're going 14.2 roughly. And that just means that the alternator is now working. So that's pretty awesome.